He first noticed the dog by accident near a quiet charging station in the residential area, where people usually just stopped briefly before leaving again. But this dog, it stayed. At first glance, it didn't even look like a living creature, just a dirty, tangled mass of fur lying motionless beside the charging post, as if it had been forgotten by time itself. But when he stepped closer, he saw its eyes dull, exhausted yet stubbornly awakened. That was enough to make his heart tighten. A nearby sanitation worker told him the truth. The dog had been abandoned there by its owner and had refused to leave ever since, waiting in the exact same place for 3 whole months through heat, rain, and endless nights, as if loyalty had turned into a quiet kind of suffering. Hearing that, the man didn't hesitate. He went to buy food immediately, hoping at least to ease its hunger. But the moment he tried to get closer, the dog retreated, not aggressively, not angrily, just cautiously, keeping a distance that spoke of deep fear and broken trust. Still, he didn't give up. The next day he came back, and the day after that, and every single day after, always bringing food, always placing it down gently before stepping away, allowing the dog to approach only when it felt safe. Even then, the dog would only eat once he had completely left, quickly finishing the food before returning to the exact same spot, continuing its silent wait for someone who would never come back. Days passed like this, quiet and repetitive, until the man decided to try something different. On the 10th day, he brought his own dog, a friendly and gentle border collie named Pippi, hoping that maybe trust could be built not between human and dog, but between dog and dog. And it worked. The moment the stray saw Pippi, something changed. Instead of running away, it stayed, watching curiously, then slowly approached. Within minutes, the 2 dogs were interacting, sniffing, circling, and eventually playing, something the man had never seen before. It was the first time that lonely dog showed even a hint of joy, as if for a brief moment it forgot about the waiting, the abandonment, and the pain. Encouraged by this, the man tried to lead them both home, but just as they moved too far away from the charging station, the stray suddenly stopped, its body stiff, its eyes filled with hesitation, refusing to take another step forward, as if an invisible line was holding it back. The past was still too heavy, but something had undeniably shifted. 2 days later, the dog appeared near the entrance of the residential area, not by coincidence, but clearly looking for Pippi. From that moment on, it began showing up daily, gradually closing the distance, not toward the man, but toward companionship. The man understood this was his only chance. One evening, after careful consideration, he brought a net. Knowing that sometimes saving a life required making a difficult decision, he found the dog resting in a quiet corner of a nearby wooded area, approached slowly, and with one precise moment secured it. The dog struggled briefly, frightened and confused, but never once tried to bite, as if deep down it still carried a gentle nature untouched by everything it had endured. At the veterinary clinic, the full extent of its condition became clear. The dog was just over a year old, physically not critically ill, but severely neglected. Its fur was so matted that it had to be completely shaved, and as the thick layers fell away, they revealed a body covered in flea bites, irritated skin, and old scars. It was a painful sight, yet throughout the entire process, the dog remained incredibly calm, lying still, allowing the staff to clean and treat it, almost as if it remembered what care once felt like. After hours of work, a completely different dog emerged clean, lighter, almost unrecognizable. The man named him Lucky, because surviving all of that and still being able to trust, even a little, was nothing short of a miracle. Bringing Lucky home was another challenge, as he was initially nervous and unsure, pacing around cautiously, observing everything from a distance. But with Pippi by his side, he slowly relaxed, finding comfort in familiar canine companionship. Over time, Lucky began adapting to his new life, learning routines, responding to calls, and even developing habits that revealed traces of his past. One thing stood out clearly: he would never take food directly from someone's hand. He always waited until it was placed in a bowl, as if holding on to a sense of dignity or an old memory that refused to fade. During walks, he carried himself with a calm and composed demeanor, never rushing, never acting wildly, almost like a well-trained dog who had simply lost his way. Yet occasionally, when passing by garbage piles, he would pause, instinctively drawn to search for food, a quiet reminder of the life he had survived. Each time the man would gently reassure him, telling him that he didn't have to do that anymore, that he now had a home, food, and people who wouldn't leave. True to his promise, the man continued bringing Lucky back to the charging station every day, not to make him wait again, but to help him slowly let go of that place and everything it represented. Then one day something changed. Instead of stopping at the usual spot, Lucky walked into the small wooded area where he used to sleep, stood there silently for a long time, as if remembering every cold night and every lonely moment. And then, without hesitation, he turned around and walked back on his own. That was the moment he finally stopped waiting. People often told the man how lucky he was to find such a gentle and loyal dog, but he always disagreed. In his eyes, it was never about finding Lucky. It was about being there when Lucky was ready to be found. Because in the end, that dog wasn't waiting for the person who abandoned him. He was waiting for someone who would stay, and this time he finally did.